Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Joy Talks. My name is Joy, and today we're going to be talking about how to budget as a young adult. Now, I am an accountant by profession as much as I am a YouTuber, and I have also done CPA and I have a degree in economics. So I know as a young adult, probably there's not a lot of money you feel like you should be budgeting for, or you're not in a place it's raining, or you're not in a place that you feel like you should be budgeting because I'm younger. I just want to enjoy the money I get. We can save the budgeting for later. No. Now, a lot of people, even my mom, who is a bit older than me, way older than me, I remember when I got my first job, she told me you need to start saving as early as now because those small years that you think you don't need to budget or something like that, it eventually adds up. And then when you're older, if you get there, what am I saying? Then when you're older, it really comes through for you. So the earlier you start, the better. So I did attend a personal money management class and I learned a lot from that. So I'm going to be drawing a lot from that when it comes to budgeting as a young adult. My first tip is to budget before the money hits your account. Now, probably you've heard of this one, but it's so true because the moment the money hits your account, it's almost like it's a mind thing because you're like, no, blow the budget, forget about it. I already have the money. Let's deal with what we have now, and then you end up spending the money recklessly instead of like following through what you had planned for in the budget, or kind of like not what you had planned through because you're not planned. So like, at the time, it's difficult to budget because it's weird. Well, if you can do it, it's all right. But I believe that budgeting before always works. It has worked even in government systems, in corporate systems. Most of these people have budgets already. So whenever they get the money, they know where it's going, rather than you get the money and then you're like, okay, I can go this way, I can go there, I can go there, I can go there, I can go there. And then you all end up mixed up. So it's always better to budget before the money hits your account. Now, for how long should you prepare budgets for? For myself, I have budgets that go up to 3 months. So right now it's December. I have mine for January, for February, and for March already done. So it depends with an individual. It depends with what you want. I would suggest doing a month or two later, especially if you're saving up for a project, or if you want to buy something like a car or a house or something like that. So always make sure you have those budgets beforehand. All right. So again, the next tip is, how do you actually budget? So there's percentages that a lot of people say, a lot of finance gurus say, a lot of personal money management guys say, but I would say find what works for you. I know there's people that say save at budget at 30% needs and then 20% wants, and then you're investing and saving 50%, which doesn't work for me because my rent and my needs are already taking up 50% of earnings. So to me, I always budget at 50% of needs and then 24% of wants, and then the others is 26%, which is like savings and every other thing. All right, so just make sure you have a percentage that works for you. First of all, start by outlining every single thing that you need. If you need rent, if you need internet, if you need food, if you need transport, just make sure you write every single thing, even if it sounds stupid. If you need... No, now I don't want to say it because you're going to think it's stupid. Okay, even if you want to buy something like a new piece of clothing and it's expensive, budget for it, all right? Cat food, dog food, any little thing you might think you need, budget for it. Don't miss anything, because the moment you start missing things is the moment you go and realize, oh, I spent money there, and then you're like, oh, I'm not even sticking to my budget, and then your mind starts playing with you, oh, you're a bad budgeter, it's not gonna work, and then you kind of like dismiss every single one of those, right? So just make sure you write every little thing that you want to spend your money on, every single one of them. All right, now after you've done all of that, now you categorize it into, is this a need, is this a want, is this an emergency, or do I want to invest this, or any other thing. All right, so things that go into the needs category are things you can't live without. For example, food. For me, I would add rent, because I can't live without paying rent. I'll be chased out. I also need transport to work, so that's also comes in as a need. And funny enough, for me, I also have internet as a need, because I spend a lot of it. So to me, all of those go to the needs category, which go to 50%. And then we have the wants section, which are things you would want ideally, or things that you feel they're not mandatory, but it's things you want to get. So for me, I would put, if I am saving up towards something, I would put it in the wants need. For example, if I want to get maybe like a new camera, to me that's a want. So there's a percentage that is going into that every single month, or any time I get money, that goes into the want category. And then for me, I call them the others, but it can go on to be emergency savings. If your employer doesn't cater for that, that is a good place to put them. Or you can also call it investing category, where you can just like save some money each month that goes into investment. Once you now categorize every little thing into the departments, now you put your percentages. So that is why, to me, I don't like going by saying I want 30% to be my needs, because it's not going to work. All right, so just first get everything you need, then put it in the categories, and then now you find your percentages. So there's no right or wrong, because the moment you're now putting them into needs, wants, and all the other things, you'll start to realize, oh, I think I'm spending more in wants than needs, so I need to change. And then now you find a percentage that works for you. Yeah, another tip that I use as a young adult to try and budget my money is by preparing a small P&L at the end of every week sometimes, or at the end of every month. So a P&L is a profit and loss thing, which you just like calculate it's usually assets versus liabilities. So you just check at everything that's bringing in money and everything that's taking away money. So what is bringing in money is assets, and what is taking away money is liabilities. And a good thing with a P&L is that it calculates either profit or a loss at the end of the period which you're checking. So for example, if I have a loan somewhere that is going to liabilities, and if I have maybe cash in hand, or I have cash in the bank that is going into assets, or if I get some money outside of my payroll that is going into the asset side. So at the end of every week, sometimes I even do it daily, because there's transactions happening daily. You can just like check. So I had this money at hand, I have this amount of money in the bank, but I also have this other loan. So at the end of the day, your mind is not like you only have the money, because sometimes you want to try and forget you don't have a loan, because it feels bad, right? So you want to like make sure you know where money is going by preparing a P&L. You don't have to be an accountant or crazy good at maths. It's generally so easy. You can just do a T and just like put things are making you money this side, things are taking away money on this other side. Sometimes it's even like I don't know, kids are taking away money, or your friends, you went to a party somewhere, you spent money. So just like make sure those things that are taking away money are on this other side, and then these are bringing in money are on this other side. And it really works. It's such a simple technique, but it helps big time. Yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this short video. Let me know whether you'd like more like this, and I'll be willing to make them more often. Till then, see you guys. Bye.